Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Today, we're going to take a look at this beauty. And of course, for those of you who know, that is a BMW Z4. And this one's from 2009 and it ran up to 2013. And I do think that this is one of the most beautiful cars on the road. And you don't see that many of them. It's got that little bit of masculinity, but also that little bit of feminism as well. So it can be driven by a man or a woman, and they always feel as though they are on top of the world. And for those of you who may have noticed, this one is the 3-litre injection, yeah? And what that means is under the bonnet is a straight six work of art. What BMW are very good at making, probably the greatest straight six engines in the world. And when you start this one up and give it a bit of a rev, I promise you, well, it's music to your ears. When you take it out up on a twisty back road, that's when you understand what this car is all about. But let's talk about practicality, because a lot of people are put off by this kind of car because they think perhaps it's not that practical. And the answer to that question is, guess what? It's not that practical. If you're looking to carry 3-4 people, suitcases, all those kind of things, it's not going to work. But if you're looking for a car for 2 people and all you're doing is going to the shops, going out for lunch, going out for dinner, and you want the best of hardtop motoring and soft-top motoring, oh yeah, this one has got a folding roof. We're going to show you that in a little bit. This car is much more practical than you think it is. Come and let me show you the actual inside of it, because these bucket seats are unbelievably comfortable, and the quality that you touch everywhere is soft touched and padded, beautiful little plastic silvery accents and chrome handles, and the dash is all soft up, very nicely designed and very functional and very easy to use. And as with all cars, there is an art to get in, but once you learn the art, it's very simple and very comfortable. And even from the passenger side, you start to understand there's an awful lot of room and an awful lot of leg room, because of course you haven't got to worry about the people sitting behind you, because there isn't anybody. Quite a few cubby spaces, little place for your mobile phones there. There's a nice big cubby here which has got 2 cup holders and another place for pens and all those kind of things. And there's a little bit of storage to the rear of the seats as well. So those coats, that spare pair of sports shoes perhaps you might want, there's plenty of room in this car, and quite a decent sized little glove box as well, by the way. You can get a few bits and bobs, and it goes all the way back, and there's the book pack, just so you understand. A lot of people would take that out and put it in the boot, so it's quite a good little glove box. And again, you can lock it, so when the roof is down, all your little valuables will be quite safe. Now, the art of getting out, all you do is make sure that foot is down, and then you can come out quite gracefully, shall we say. Now, let's have a look at the trunk, or the boot as we call it in English. Not the biggest boot in the world, but like I say, if there's only a couple of you, this goes in place here to allow the roof to sit on down it, but of course you can lift that up and you've got quite a lot of space. So again, if you're going to an airport, you can certainly get 1 full size and 1 half size case in there, and a couple of squashy bags. So you may be quite surprised at how actual practicality this car has. And like I say, I think from every angle, if we study its bottom, I think it's got a very, what's the word, sexy look, isn't it? Very nice indeed. I think the lights are very well integrated. I think the rear bumper suits it very well. And I do think it has that coupe look, but at the same time, when the roof goes down, the silhouette changes and then it becomes that super smooth looking convertible. So on that note, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to drop the roof for you, because the roof is literally a work of art. Here's that art again of getting in. Make sure that leg is firmly placed, pop your bottom in comes that leg. Couldn't be any easier. Don't be thinking that some sports cars are difficult to get into. Well, some of them are, but this is not one of them. Let's get it started up and let's watch. Well, I'll let you hear the engine first. Here we go. Because this, as I was saying, is what it's all about. Listen to that. Wow. Straight six, BMW, and it's growling like crazy. Absolutely spectacular indeed. Of course, a 6-speed gearbox, a little bit notchy, but not when you start to open it up in the hills. And I promise you, windows up, roof down, or vice versa, when that throttle's going down and that gear is changing, oh my God, this car comes into a world of its own, and you will feel glad that you are alive. But obviously, be very careful. There are boys and girls around in blue, and of course they are waiting, and they really are waiting, especially for you. Now, the car likes the doors to be closed, so let's close it up, and now you can get to watch the work of art as the roof goes down. There goes the windows, there goes the rear section, that's flipping up on the top, the boot is lifting up, that section's going to go in, and then the other section goes in, and then it all closes back down again, and it leaves an absolutely beautiful, beautiful silhouette of an open top sports car. Once the windows are up, we now know that it has done its job, so I'm going to step out again and I'm going to admire its beauty, because I do think that it's an absolutely beautiful car. It really, really is indeed. It's also got some fabulous looking wheels. These were optional when the car was bought brand new, and if we get down and have a look at them, we understand the care that the gentleman took of this car. All it's got is a minor little graze there, almost new tyres. The discs are as good as new. They were replaced not that long ago. And remember, this car's only done just over 55,000 miles. It's been garaged, it's been serviced on time. It really is a pleasant car. And you find a lot of people that buy this sort of car, they may have 2, they may have 3, they may have 4 cars, and often they haven't got enough parking space, enough garage space, but they always make sure that that car goes in the garage, and perhaps they have their daily driver, shall we say. If we start to look across the front of the bumper, we can see all there is a little tiny mark there. In fact, that's a bit of fluff, but there is a slight little graze there and a slight little graze there, not a lot. Bear in mind, this is the original paint on this car. To be honest, it's in truly fantastic condition. As we come to this wheel, there's a little bit more of a graze there on the outer edge, but again, for a car that is knocking on the door of 14 years old, you have to take your hat off to the gentleman that owned it. Again, obviously that disc is super smooth and this tyre is as good as new. If we look along the sills, this is again where these sort of cars sometimes get caught, and as we can see in this case, no, absolutely no nicks, no scuffs whatsoever. We do have a little scuff here, as we can see. The gentleman says his gate opened and swung onto it, so we'll polish it up a little bit and touch it rather than paint the side of the car, because at least that will be authentic. Again, as you look at this wheel, we can see the rear discs are totally smooth and as good as new. A little scuff there, apart from that, perfect. And no delamination around the lacquer on the badges either. So this car has been very, very well looked after and kept in a nice, dry and warm environment, that's for sure. As we come round to this side, we'll have a look at this rear wheel. Again, we've got a little scuff there, and I do question, that's probably something that he's caught that was in the road rather than it going into a pothole, but the rest of the wheel is absolutely perfect. And again, all smooth on the inside and no delamination around the badges. Fabulous, fabulous car. Let's allow you to have another look inside the interior now the roof is down, much, much easier for our cameraman. And I will talk you through some of the controls. Obviously, this is a manual car, so we've got 3 pedals, accelerate on the outside, brake and the clutch. When we put the clutch in, we get access to the super smooth 6-speed gearbox, which is a bit notchy when it's cold, but when it warms up, it comes alive, that's for sure. Heated seats for those slightly cooler mornings or evenings when you're driving around with the roof down. These are the controls for the roof, up and down. Nice simple little stereo. You just push that little button there and you can have access to all the multimedia through the iDrive system. You can go to the radio, you can go to the navigation, to BMW services, voice information, all those kind of things. Very simple to use. Here is all the air conditioning and all those kind of things. Normally most people get into a car and just push that button and it says max and it will chill the car as fast as possible. These are the temperatures, so perhaps if you want it to that perfect temperature of 22 degrees, you set it to there and that temperature will be maintained especially for you. Now, if you want to know how you start it up, look, that's the actual key. And you pop that into that slot, you put your foot on the clutch, obviously it's got to be out of gear, and then you just press that button and it fires straight into life with that beautiful growl. And yet again, yep, and a nice little bit of a backfire on the overrun, absolutely beautiful. And it's got an electric parking brake which engages and disengages, or you can obviously pull it on yourself as well. And this is that big cubby hole. He's now got a better view of it. Two nice sensibly deep cup holders, nice little bit of storage there. There is the blank lighter. Obviously you can put an adapter in there. You've got an auxiliary import, so plenty of connectivity. And as I was saying, that little bit of storage in the back here, and there's a little bit of rooms in there, you see that? You keep little bits and bobs, your diamonds and your pearls and your bits of gold, they can all go in there. There's a little bit of netting down the back here, which allows you to store something in the back. So it's not as impractical as you think that it is. Now, would you like to see the roof going back up again? You fancy that? Okay. The cameraman will step back and he will close that door and we'll now put the roof back up again. Another work of art, that's for sure. Down go the windows, the boot has opened up and out are coming the individual roof sections. Main roof is coming in, clicks into place. Boot's gone down, the second rear window piece will click into place and then up will come the windows. And now we know that the operation is complete. And air conditioning has already kicked in and it feels absolutely amazing in here. Cocooned in luxury. And you may have noticed it's in the best colour combination as well. Black on the outside and red leather with black accents on the inside. Oh my goodness. If well, she's already seen it, my partner in My Crimes, of course, Marika, and she does like black cars with red interiors, and a lot of people do, don't they? Because they are two of the greatest and most classic colour combinations in the world. Let's allow the cameraman to walk you around slowly and show you the beauty of this rather nice BMW Z4 from 2009. And of course, this car, if you want to buy it, get in contact with us and we'll make sure that you get a great car and a great deal, fully serviced and of course fully road legal. It will have a brand new MOT, road taxed till the end of the year. As you can see, the tyres are perfect, the mechanics are perfect. And just before we finish the video, I'll pop the bonnet because I do think that the actual engine bay is a work of art, straight six BMW, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? So let's let the cameraman keep going round. It's got some beautiful haunches and some beautiful curves. I think there's something very sexual about that. I think it's really nice indeed, and it dresses those massive alloy wheels, I think. And of course, even with the roof up, I think it looks very sleek indeed. And as you come down the side, I think as you go into those front wings, it really is a work of art. You'll have to forgive the noise. Up in the sky, there are two helicopters. There appears to be a little fire somewhere on the island of Love. And that huge long bonnet, absolute work of art. So let's pop that bonnet and let's show you what it looks like under the hood in a rather nice BMW Z4. There we go. You wait for it, guys. This is BMW at their very best indeed. One of the greatest engines that they've ever made. There's no doubt about it. Straight six, smooth as silk. and it really is as smooth as silk. But this car, remember, is 14 years old, and as you can see, there's not a lot been going on. The pulleys have been changed, all the fluids are correct. This has not been cleaned, this has not been ballasted. That is exactly how we got it. And like I say, testament to the gentleman who bought it brand new and to his care for the last 14 years. And I do believe the next person will buy this car and keep it for quite a few years, without question. And as you can see, the actual struts on the bonnet are still in good nick, which is quite unusual on an older car. They tend to sag. But again, when we look at the front end, yeah, it's got that cross between feminism and masculism, and it's just about right. It's not too aggressive, it's not too girly, it's not too manny, should we say. I do believe that that is an absolutely fantastic car. And like I say, back in the day, it was in 2010, I went into the BMW showroom in the UK, just in Chester, and I almost bought one of these with this engine, and it was a dark silver one with cream leather, as I recall, and I bought the exact same colour on a BMW 3 Series with the same engine, and I had that car for about 3 years, and it was a fantastic car. It never gave me any problems whatsoever. And again, talking about BMWs, people say, oh, part price expensive. Yeah, they are. But more often than not, they don't go wrong that much as long as you keep on top of the maintenance. A lot of people don't change the belts on time. A lot of people, should we say, push their oil that little bit too far. A lot of people don't keep on top of the maintenance. They can afford the car and then they start to think, oh, I'll skimp a little bit. That's not what you should do with any car. Always keep on top of the maintenance. If they say service it every 10,000 miles, service it every 8,000 miles. When your tires get that little bit low, change them. When you put your hand in on the disc and you start to feel that lip at the top, change the disc. If the mechanic says to you, they'll last you another 5,000 miles, that's not very far. Change the discs, because you're going to be changing them anyway, and you are putting more stress and vibrations onto the suspension. If you hear knockings in the lower ball joints, change them. Otherwise, that will ricochet and continue and make more problems in the car. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please don't forget to hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a single penny. Please join the Cars and Me family. And perhaps, if you like us that little bit, why not go and hunt us down on the Buy Me a Coffee platform. Google these magic words, Buy Me a Coffee, Cars and Me, or Cars and Me, Buy Me a Coffee. Up will come our landing page. You can choose to read a little bit more about us, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you would gift us that virtual coffee or two as a thank you, as a gesture of goodwill, and of course to keep us motivated to keep on making these videos for you. If there's a car that you fancy, you drop it into the comments, and you never know, that car review may be coming very soon indeed. It's up to you guys to guide us and tell us what type of videos you want. We've got a body shop, we've got a mechanic shop, we buy cars and we sell cars, we have customers' cars as well, so we've got access to an awful lot of cars. So please tell us what you want us to do, and I'll leave you with the view of possibly one of the most beautiful cars ever made by the famous company known as BMW. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to your company again very soon indeed.